Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make coconut pancakes. They are so good. I am crazy over these pancakes. They are absolutely delicious and they're totally gluten-free. I actually developed this recipe for a very good friend of mine who has recently gone gluten-free, and she's like, listen, I love me some pancakes. I love me some fluffy pancakes, but I can no longer eat them because my stomach just can't handle the gluten. So can you help me develop a recipe that has no gluten in it, but keeps the pancakes really fluffy? So this is it, and I'm thrilled to share it with you because it's really easy and really simple, but they are phenomenally delicious. They're like my new thing right now, okay? Let it be, let it go. The ingredients are very few, but they're all the right ones. I've got some eggs here that I have separated into yolks and of course some egg whites. What I have here is some coconut flour, baking powder, and salt. I have some unsweetened almond milk. I have a little bit of coconut oil and some fresh blueberries. Those are optional. I love fresh blueberries in my pancakes, so I'm going to add some in because it's just so good. All right, the method for these are super simple and easy. If you want to, you can use egg replacer if you don't eat dairy or eggs or anything like that. They won't come out as fluffy as these, but they're still really good. But I like really fluffy pancakes, so to me, eggs are very crucial in this recipe. What I'm going to do with my electric mixer is I'm going to whisk my egg whites until they're really, really foamy, and I'll show you what they look like when they're there. Awesome, they look great. Now, those egg whites, these are going to provide a lot of a lift in those pancakes. It's going to give them really nice, fluffy interior, but I will say this. If you're not a fan of coconut flavor and you're not a fan of the texture of coconut, you might not be a fan of these pancakes simply because coconut pancakes equals gonna taste like coconut. So just a warning, but they are so good. You're gonna absolutely love them. And I actually added, when I first created this recipe, I added a few tablespoons of coconut sugar, and then I couldn't believe how sweet they were. And then once I completely eliminated the sugar, they were perfect with a little drizzle of maple syrup on top. So good. Gonna love it. Okay, to this bowl, I've got my egg yolks. I'm gonna add my almond milk. If you have coconut milk, by all means use that, and use any milk you want. And my coconut oil. You want to make sure that you melt your coconut oil because if it's, if you store it in a cool place, coconut oil solidifies. So you just want to make sure that you melt it, whether it be in the microwave or on a stovetop or whatever. It needs to be in liquid form, so that's perfect. And if you don't have coconut oil on hand, you can use a couple tablespoons of melted butter. You can use a couple tablespoons of regular vegetable oil. Really, any fat will do, and any milk will do. Okay, that's perfect. To the egg yolk and milk mixture, I'm going to add the coconut flour, baking powder, and salt. Do not panic if your pancakes are a little bit lumpy, because a lumpy pancake is a really good thing. You just want to make sure everything is well incorporated, but by any means, don't take your mixer and just whisk until everything is smooth. You don't want that. Now to this, because you can see how thick it has become, I am going to fold in my egg whites. You're going to do this a little bit at a time because there's a lot of egg whites here. I like to take a little bit, and what I do with the very first little bit, like a quarter of the egg whites, is I just loosen this mixture up. So I kind of just add them in like so, and now slowly you start folding in the rest of the egg whites. And that's it. And this is what your batter will look like. Now, what I have here is a large non-stick skillet that I have preheating over medium-low heat, because one of the things I have found with these pancakes, for some reason, and I don't know why, maybe it's just me, possibility, for some reason I feel like they cook much more evenly in a skillet rather than on a large griddle. I don't understand that. It could be because my stovetop here, these burners are two different sizes, so maybe the heat from the larger burner is carrying over to the smaller one and making the cooking temperature uneven. So keep that in mind if you have a stovetop similar to mine, that they cook much better in a skillet. What I've done to my skillet, I've just sprayed it a little tiny bit with some nonstick spray, like a nonstick spray. You could use coconut spray, anything like that. You can drizzle a little bit of butter. They don't need much. And I like to do about 1/3 of a cup of batter per pancake, because what I find that if they're any bigger, they're kind of hard to manage when it comes to flipping. And I don't know, I feel like this is just like the ideal size for a pancake like this, because it's got so much flavor and texture and body compared to a regular pancake that I just happen to think they're the perfect size. And over medium-low heat on my stovetop, they take about 3 minutes on each side. So keep that in mind as well. I'm trying to give you as many tips as possible. Now, what I like to do with some of my pancakes, I just like to drop in some fresh blueberries because I think they add additional sweetness and a burst of flavor, burst of freshness, and I love that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook these for about, like I said, for about 3 minutes on each side. I will continue to cook up my whole batch and I will show you what they look like when they are completely cooked. My pancakes are all cooked. I've got some blueberries and some plain, and I just want to show you something. This is just 2 pancakes. It's just a plain one at the on the bottom and a blueberry on top. And look how, look at the height of these pancakes. They're lovely and fluffy. I'm gonna just drizzle a little maple syrup just for sweetness, and because, you know, pancakes, you do what you gotta do. And then you just munch, dive in, enjoy. But I have to show you the inside. Ooh, oh, things excite me, you know. Look at those beautiful pancakes. Like there's the blueberries right there. Look at that fluffiness right there. They're just gorgeous. I mean, there is nothing not, mouth is salivating, so you're gonna have to give me a minute. There is nothing not to love about these, and they smell really divine. So good. So fluffy. Don't mind if I go back for seconds or thirds because they are fantastic. Totally worthy of being on your brunch table or for breakfast this weekend. They're so easy to make. They require just a handful of ingredients, but they are phenomenal. I also love to top them with some fresh raspberries or strawberries and additional blueberries just for a little bit of brightness. But they are divine, and I think you will absolutely adore them. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. I'm eyeing this up, so that means you gotta go and I gotta go eat. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.